Santa Claus, St. Nicholas, Kris Kringle, Pierre Noel, Babbo Natale, Topo Gigio. Oh no, we're reviewing Father Christmas. Hey everybody, what goes on? And welcome to Disavowed Action Figures, bringing you another action figure review. Today, taking a closer look at the very new, the very seasonal, the very awesome Horsemen Studios Figura Obscura Wave Father Christmas. By the way, extra bonus points for everybody down below in the comments who lets me know where Topo Gigio comes from and what movie that is. It should be obvious, right? Super pumped to have this thing in hand. I did pre-order it when it was available. However, I went to the local Krampus Fest in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. We did an entire video, check it out. And lo and behold, who was there but Horsemen Studios? That's right, they put it out there in the cyber world. They'd be attending Krampus Fest, selling their first Figura Obscura figure, Krampus. And I was shocked when I got there to see they had this there for sale. So shout out to the Horsemen Studios booth for being there at Krampus Fest. I had a great time, a great interaction, a great talk about this figure in hand in our previous video. But now we bought it, we have it, we're going to go through it, we're going to tear it open. I'm not going to show you the spoilers of what's inside Santa's sack in this review. I did put it in the Toy Hunt video where they were at Krampus Fest, but other reviewers who did review this recently did not put it in their actual review, so I will also not put that in here, as other collectors are getting it. So no spoilers in this video, but I did put a spoiler warning on my last Toy Hunt, which was at Krampus Fest, that I had a great interaction at that booth where I was given a really great detailed look at this figure, and they did gift me the opportunity of seeing what was inside Santa's sack. So let's take a look at the packaging. We'll get him out of here. We'll move him around. We'll see what the layers are that go with this guy, and then we'll obviously do some great comparisons with other seasonal and newer figures. So much like other Figura Obscura Wave figures, it does come in some great packaging. I love the artwork on the front of Father Christmas. There is the side right there with the reindeer. The back, we do get a write-up. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause it and take an opportunity to read what's on the back. Great picture there of Father Christmas on top. And I love this. We have that magnetic packaging here where this actually has magnets that wraps right around, as you can see. Absolutely love that. And then on the inside of this, we do get a very scenic, fun-looking Christmas background that you can use for your different figure photography. Very amazing artwork right there with the Christmas tree front and center. I love how they do their packaging on these things. It's fantastic. As far as the look at the figure actually in packaging, we do get the plastic window in the front, which I feel like we have to enjoy while we can, because a lot of waves, a lot of different companies are doing away with that. We do get a look at some of the multiple accessories. There's plenty more in there you cannot see. On the side, again, kind of an evening out there in the winter time. We have Santa in his sleigh. We have the moon up there, crescent, I believe, if that's the moon, and another Christmas tree on the side with Figura Obscura on the bottom. Legalese, Horsemen logo, all that fun stuff you like to see. On the top, you got a bit of a window with that awesome Horseman H logo with the 4 and the H. I love that. And there he is. And just for transparency purposes, once again, I did purchase this. It was not provided to me. I bought it for, I believe, $65. It was on sale for the general public at Krampus Fest at the Horsemen Studios booth. Again, thank you for that great interaction and that permission they gave me to show what was inside Father Christmas's sack in my last hunt video. Go check it out if you want to see what's inside. I'm not going to show you here, but I can't wait to open this thing. Let's get it out of the packaging. As you know, if you watch my channel, I'm a packaging nut. I love the packaging on toys. Inside of this, we also get a Christmas tree on the back of the cardboard with a Yule log and the Christmas stockings, fireplace scene, candles, the whole nine. So you could also probably use that in your photography in some capacity. So once you do get it out of the cardboard packaging, what you're dealing with are basically 2 plastic trays on the inside, front and back. The front tray is going to have Father Christmas with his alternate head sculpt, tons of the accessories, and then the Christmas tree, and then the back, there'll be more accessories. I believe a stand for the Christmas tree, his really cool looking staff, his crowns, and of course, Santa's sack. So there are a ton of goodies as accessories with this thing. Let's try to quickly go through these. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on these, but I do want to show them all off. Starting with this really great head sculpt. This looks freaking great. When you do see Santa's head sculpt, Father Christmas's head sculpt later on, he has a longer beard that goes to about his belt buckle. This is an alternate sculpt with a shorter beard, basically. So we'll compare those later on. That came out great. You do get a drum. I really like this drum. As a heads up, be careful taking it out of the plastic tray. My little hook right there did get caught. Thankfully, I noticed it before I broke anything, but just be careful. It's packaged very well, but just be careful when you're pulling that drum out. Nice, just look great looking drum right here, as you can see. Great aesthetics to that. It doesn't actually drum. You are going to get this trumpet, I believe it is, as a musical instrument. This is very delicate. Again, not that it's cheesy or it's not cheap or anything like that. It's just delicate, so be careful. It is very thin plastic. You don't want to take a chance on breaking that, but that looks really great. You have the individual keys, I guess is a better word. I'm not quite sure, I'm not a musician, that are on there. You do get the Christmas tree with the base. The Christmas tree, these little fibers will come off. They did a great job putting plastic around this. There was a baggie around it to protect it in packaging. I also did see, and I believe it was Toy Bros review, somebody's review, you may have to cut a piece of this off. It might be too long to fit in the base. While we're talking about the Christmas tree, let's just talk about the base that goes with it. So this is just basically like a little snowy looking base that'll plug into this. And I believe there's also a wooden stump or piece of wood that basically, I think this gets inserted into here. Yeah. And then you'll insert, using the little peg or little hole, the Christmas tree into this. So I guess this is where you have to make sure it's not too long to fit into that piece of fake wood. We do get the two looking wreaths that do go on the head. There's a special name for those. I looked it up. I forgot it already, and I'm not going to try to stop and start over. But these are pretty much identical. These will obviously go on Santa's head. But you get two of those. Santa's sack we'll talk about later. I'm not going to show you what's inside, as I mentioned. Check out my other video, my hunt video, to see what's in there. I really like this satchel or bag he comes with. Great detail on here. We have a teddy bear. We have drumsticks. Again, be careful. They're not flimsy, but if you're not careful, those could break. Toy soldier. Looks like a ball. A lion. Another horn in there. Candy cane. Just really great detail on the bag. We have some nice texture going on. We have the strap to go around his shoulder. That is really cool looking right there. I really like this elf. I don't know why, but I really like the little elf right here. That's just cool looking. It's cool. It's very detailed. You can see it's painted very well. Even the face came out nice with the little rosy cheeks going on. This is amazing. So here we do get the hood. It does have clasps in front that'll clasp over his head. This is bendy wire, so this will bend around. Looking forward to seeing what that looks like when I get it on his head. Also, this is bendy wire. So you can see how you can really work with this and get it to do different things. With the hood, that's very well done. And then, of course, the staff. I think this is really cool. I think for Mythics collectors, I'm not a huge Mythics guy. I think I maybe 7 or 8 of them, I'll be honest, with a horse and Aldar the moose. But for, true and tried collectors that really do a lot of customization, which I don't do, I'm sure you can find lots of different ways to use this. Shout out to Carver Customs. I'm sure somebody thought of this already, but there's got to be a way to get this open or cut this out and put one of Carver Customs light up torches inside. That'd look freaking insane. But again, nice texture here on the wood. He'll hold his staff. He uses it in a lot of different ways. But that came out great. So overall, accessories, I don't really grade things, but if I did, the accessories would get a definite A, because there are just so many cool pieces and things that go with this. Not even mentioning, as I said, what's inside Santa's sack. All right, so let's get this stuff off to the side. Let's get the figure out here and see what goes on with him. Here is Father Christmas, or as I constantly will probably call him, Santa Claus. I'm sorry, I'm here in the States, it's Santa Claus to me, but here is Father Christmas, Figura Obscura out of the packaging, and it just looks striking. The robe is frigging insane. This Santa garb is so well done. As I mentioned earlier, I can't even begin to imagine how many different ways this could be utilized with those amazing Mythic Legions community customizers. Just the stitching, everything on it just looks fantastic. This guy came out absolutely gorgeous. I was very much up in the air going into this release, as I do try to stay in my lane, even though I do have the other Figura Obscura and a handful of Mythics, considering the price point. But I can see the money was well worth it. All these accessories, the soft goods, everything about this guy makes this well worth it as a seasonal purchase, as well as, again, all the customization he and his parts can be used for, which I've already seen some really cool stuff on Instagram. Here's a closer look at this particular head sculpt. So taking a look at it, you can see the beard is longer. Let me grab the other one here. So as a side-by-side, you can see this beard is much shorter than the one that it comes default on the head with. The eyes, the facial expression, everything else seems to be the same from what I can tell. Let me know in the comments. Maybe the forehead is a little bit more furrowed on one of them. But overall, it's pretty darn close, if not the same thing from what I can tell. I'm sure they're slightly different. But again, the big thing that jumps out at me is the difference in beard length. As far, again, as the soft goods, these are top-notch. So well done. Looks like we have bendy wire going on here in the sleeves because, yeah, that bends around really well. This entire part is bendy wire. You can see underneath we do get the purple going on, so we have a robe underneath this, so additional soft goods. You can do a lot with this regarding how you want to have that kick back. Again, if it's a windy night at the North Pole, you could have that blowing back as he goes through the different snow and the weather and whatnot. But again, so well done. The stitching back here, the gold and the black, just it's so cool. The belt rides relatively high up the back, but man, this is just so freaking cool. The amount of care that went into this. Again, I think a lot of the money for this design went into actually the soft goods, which is fine with me because that is definitely one of the best parts about it. So let's get a little dangerous for me. Let's take this off and look at what's underneath. If you were curious, the belt just has a peg and a port on the back, so that will just pop right off. Be careful with it. Again, it does ride up rather high underneath his beard, so be careful with that. But yeah, let's get this robe off of him. And additional specifics, there's also a clasp here. So in order to take this off, you'll have to unclasp this part. It doesn't just pull right apart. Underneath, once you get that Christmas robe off, you'll see he does have on this purple piece of soft goods underneath, which does look really great. We do flare that robe or Santa's jacket up a little bit. You can see that purple underneath. Just makes it pop a little bit more with the aesthetics with multiple colors being there. But this also is removable. So now that we've seen this go around a few times, let's take this purple robe off that is underneath. You can see that we just basically have a Velcro strip in the back. And Father Christmas with the purple robe, the undergarment off. This is basically like a brown, I've heard it called like a chocolate color. We do have the more gray looking boots. Really nice details with this body, pegs in the back, as this is, I believe, Mythic version 1 body. Again, feel free to correct me in the comments, everybody, as I'm not, again, a hardcore Mythics collector. I just dabble, but I'm sure this base body can be used for a lot. One thing I was told while I was looking at the figure at Krampus Fest is that there is something new going on here. Basically, what you're getting is you have the, again, version 1, I believe, body, but this must be new, where you can actually put different newer heads on this body. So I guess that's the neck peg that is new with the ball. So essentially that allows you to do more head swaps with other figures. So let me just grab my other Santa head with the smaller beard. Again, this is going to peg right on. We'll get our pop, or somewhat of a pop there. So you can see right there, not the beard not going down as far. It allows you to get a better look at the torso. We flip the light around. Again, very nice detail all throughout this figure. Mythics fans, you know a lot more than I would regarding that, but this is a really cool piece to add to your collection. I'm going to spare you everything with articulation, because if you're a Mythics collector who's hardcore, you know what this thing's going to do. So I will err on the side of caution, not get into the articulation of this guy. To me, it's more about the aesthetics, and let's get this comparisons, because that's what I'm most excited about. So as I was preparing to redress Father Christmas, I was looking at those soft goods and wanted to mess around a little bit. The purple right away made me think of my Kang over on my Fantastic Four Marvel Legends shelf. I think this really works well for a purple robe for Kang. As you know, we are getting closer to the MCU version of Kang coming out in Quantumania. So I think that this could be well utilized for a Marvel Legend as basically soft goods with Kang, something looking like this. And as I can't even begin to tell you the shelf acrobatics I had to go through to reach this guy in the back of my MCU shelf, but having just watched the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special on Disney+, in the last couple of weeks. I right away thought of putting this Santa robe on Peter Quill Star-Lord, and I'm going to tell you, it looks really freaking good. I think this looks cool. But again, just another example of how even having one or multiples of this would allow you to use these soft goods in a lot of different creative ways. I am not a creative person. I've never created bone in my body. However, even I can think of fun ways to use these accessories. So yeah, Peter Quill, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to give that back to jolly old Saint Nick. Starting with some seasonal figure comparisons, here is the Four Horsemen Studios Father Christmas, standing with the Ralphie 8-inch A Christmas Story Neca cloth figure. And even though I believe this is an 8-inch line, obviously Ralphie being scaled down, being a child, and I believe Mythics are and Figura Obscura are 6-inch, that works pretty well for me. You know, shorter Santa Claus, a taller kid hitting puberty, leg lamp. By the way, my leg lamp actually is really broken. So, Neca, if you're watching this, want to send me a free one. Yeah, I dropped it the first year I had, and that little piece of plastic that connected broke. But, you know, when the old man's holding the leg and holding the broken piece, kind of fits the narrative of the movie. But, yeah, Ralphie, Santa Claus, fight! I wasn't as optimistic for this comparison, and as you can see, the Neca 8-inch cloth holiday figures, this being Will Ferrell's Elf. What's your favorite color? You sit on a throne of lies. You smell like meat and cheese. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm off track. I love the holidays. Towering over Santa here. Now, Will Ferrell is a tall guy. Elf was a tall character in the movie. You could make it work, obviously. The point on the hat really kind of puts him over the top, but messing around with the scale a little bit here, this could probably work for him to be the #1 lieutenant in Father Christmas's Santa Elf Army, I guess. Here is Father Christmas, standing with another Q4 2022 late in the year release, who really also likes to rock the soft goods. Here is G.I. Joe Classified Serpentor, the SDCC exclusive. I also do have a review of this guy here on the channel if you want to go check that out. And again, because of the hood on Santa's head, this kind of works. I know he's supposed to be like 7 feet tall. Santa's not going to be as tall as him. Both 6-inch figure scaled lines. They work well, somehow oddly together. For all those wrestling collectors out there like me, here is the Jazzwares AEW Unrivaled MJF Maxwell Jacob Friedman. He's better than you and he knows it action figure with his own soft goods right there on the scarf, chilling with Santa Claus. And even though MJF doesn't celebrate Christmas, I'm sure they could come to some sort of agreement if it means MJF getting free things out of it. So for a Marvel Legends comparison with a similar color scheme going on here, here is the Peter Parker SpiderMan Renew Your Vows Marvel Legends from that recent 2-pack in 2022, staying here with Father Christmas. And I know it doesn't really give you scale, but I like this pose. And as I always say, I don't want to take it out. For a more proper Marvel Legends comparison with an upright standing figure, here is the Marvel Legends Retro Card Series Symbiote Suit Spider-Man, standing there with Santa Claus, a.k.a. Father Christmas, and all his other names. People are tending to forget about him. He's one of my favorite figures of the year, and he very well might pop up in my Marvel Legends Top 10 video, but there's how he stands with Father Christmas. There's a Grinch in the DC McFarlane multiverse universe. I would think it's probably this bad mother fragger Lobo right here. So that's how he scales with the Santa Claus Father Christmas figure. Again, larger scale of figure, but again, you'd expect him to tower over Father Christmas. So after rearranging to allow for some space, here is the Figura Obscura Volume 2 figure, the Headless Horseman, standing with our Father Christmas, both being obviously figures from Four Horsemen Studios in the Figura Obscura line. And certainly I had to compare the inaugural Figura Obscura release from Four Horsemen Studios, the Krampus figure, he of which had his own festival where I picked up Father Christmas together. This duo will be spending quite a lot of time on my shelf in the future holiday seasons for years to come. And last, and as everybody likes to say, certainly not least, here is Father Christmas standing with the AEW Jazzwares Unrivaled Orange Cassidy. I know that Father Christmas and Santa Claus like citrus come the holiday season, so the question is, will they put oranges in Orange Cassidy stocking, or will it be coal? Or maybe, just maybe, he won't put coal in Orange Cassidy stocking. He'll put some Adam coal in his stocking. You see what I did there, wrestling fans? I hope you all stopped watching at this point because these jokes are terrible. If you would indulge me for one moment here, it is the holiday season, and what's the holiday season without singing and Christmas carols? So if I could share the sentiments of all the toy collectors out there here as we're approaching the holiday season here in December. Father Christmas, give me some money. I spent all my money on these stupid toys. Seriously, Father Christmas, I'm broke. Can you please give me more money to buy toys? Thank you for indulging me with my terrible jokes and my terrible, even worse, singing. But I was between using that for the cold opening or what you got at the beginning anyway. But overall final thoughts on this figure. This thing is frigging insane. I am loving the 4 Horsemen Studios Figura Obscura line. I have one of each already. I'll continue to pick them up based on how much I love this thing. I was so fortunate to have the opportunity to pick this up when we were at Krampus Fest in Jim Thorpe, PA. Thank you to 4 Horsemen Studios for coming out and having a booth at that event. Shout out to those people who ran Krampus Fest. Such a good time. I will put the description down below. Again, you're going to love the goodies inside Santa's sack. I'm not spoiling it here, but if you want to see a spoiler, go check out the toy hunt video that I did. I'll link it down below from the actual event of Krampus Fest. Shout out to Six Packs and Knickknacks and the Mrs. Six Packs and Knickknacks for hanging out that day at the event. And again, thanks to 4 Horsemen Studios for making the trip from New Jersey up here to Jim Thorpe, PA for that great fun event. This thing's great. The accessories are phenomenal. The soft goods are just top notch. This will be a staple on my holiday shelf for years to come. And again, me being as uncreative as I am, admittedly, can't wait to see what the Mythic Legions community does with this thing, with all the different soft goods and pieces and head sculpts and just accessories. They are an amazing group of people. I met them when I was out there at the convention down in Secaucus, and it was so much fun meeting those people. Such creative, just brilliant minds in the toy community. So I had a lot of fun there. But this thing's great. Last I checked, it was still in stock online. Again, it is available to pick up as last I checked. If you still want to go out there and grab this thing. And again, I can't underplay. You're going to love what's inside this sack. If you're a Mythic collector, you're really going to enjoy it. So thanks everybody for watching. If you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free for you. It doesn't cost you anything. Helps us grow the channel tremendously. Hit that bell for notifications. That way YouTube actually notifies you and tells you when we post new content on the channel, like our weekly toy hunts reviews and live streams. Leave a comment down below, hit that like button. And for daily toy content and daily toy updates, check us out over Instagram and Twitter at Disavowed_12. Hey everybody, if you're going toy hunting this week, please try to remember the 3 Ps of the toy hunt. Patience, persistence, most of all, politeness. Take care, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing all of you at the pegs.